My name is Katie and I'm from Blossom Horticultural Therapy. It is October 2020. We are 6 months into this pandemic and man, it is hard to stay positive. So what can you do this fall to take care of your mental health? First thing, we can go outside, take some deep breaths of fresh air and plant something to look forward to in the spring. So today we are going to make a lasagna bulb planter. So by planting our bulbs in layers like a lasagna, we are going to get beautiful blooms from February all the way through May and help us get through maybe a really long winter. Okay, let's get going. So we're going to start with the best bit. I'm a bit nerdy and I love to get out my bulb catalogue. I'm going to hunker down with a cup of coffee and dog's optional. And I'm going to just flip through and circle absolutely every flower that I like. Now, once you've been through like at least once with your marker, you're then going to go back and see, do you have any flowers that bloom in early spring? So January, February, early March. Do you have some that bloom mid-spring? So March into April. And then do you have any that bloom at the end of spring, so late April into May? Once you have a few in each category, go back again and think about colors. You could just have one in each section, or you could have different varieties. So I like to think, let's be like fancy. I'm gonna do purples and whites for my beginning of spring with my crocuses and my snowbells. And then I need that pop of yellows, those daffodils in March, April time. And then I might think, well, what colors haven't I seen yet? So I might go pinks and do some pink tulips. So go through and then rip out the plants that you choose. Because what will then happen is you place your order, they come a few weeks later, and you've completely forgotten what your plan was. So this is my plan. I chose some pastel yellow crocuses to start with, to pair with some double snowdrops. These are white with some green inside. Then I'm gonna go full bold and bright because by the time March rolls around, boy do we want some color. So bright yellow daffodils, and I'm actually gonna pair them with these fuchsia hyacinths. And then aren't these amazing? These are little white tulips with blue centers. Now, for my grand finale, I'm going purple and white with some tulips and some gladioli. So here are the pictures that I ripped out of my catalogue and I stuck them on the paper in the layers in which I'm going to plant them. And here's another picture of what your planter will look like inside. So here are the layers of bulbs. Okay, on to our finale, planting your bulbs. You will need a few things. A trowel. You don't have to be fancy. It can be an old wooden spoon or an old ladle, totally works. Just, you know what? You could even use your hands. You need some gloves. Literally the dog just ate my actual gardening gloves. So these are just regular like disposable kitchen gloves. They'll do the trick. You need a planter. Remember, it gets heavy when it's full of dirt. So this is just a cheap plastic one. Make sure it has good drainage holes. If it doesn't come with a hole, if you have a drill, you can make some. You need some good old dirt. So I just chose soil made for containers. And of course you need your bulbs. So after you have a few inches of soil at the bottom of your container, you are gonna plant your latest bulbs first. So these are going to be my tulips. So when you look at your bulb, you're going to have a pointy top and a flat bottom. Sometimes you can see the roots already coming out at the bottom. So you're going to plant them pointy side up. So I'm going to just pop them in a circle all the way around. Now if it was to fall over or the paper was to come off, no big deal at all. Bulbs are pretty clever, they find the right way up. Now, these are my gladiolas. So this is going to be pinks and purples come end of spring. So that's our first layer. Now I'm gonna sprinkle some more soil on top, just like a lasagna layer. All right. I'm gonna break up any big clumps that you may get, flatten it out. Now I'm gonna plant the bulbs that will pop up in mid-spring. So these are gonna be my daffodils. Same thing, pointy side up. And I have my hyacinth. Now these are a super fun, bright purple color. So you choose the design that you think you might want. And now I'm also going to put these really fun white tulips with that blue center. So I'm just going to pop some of those around them. Okay. Spread some more soil in there. Oops. Spread it out. So now I will plant the first bulb. So these are the ones that kind of come up around February, early March. So I chose my crocuses. Now these are tiny. So remember, when you still plant them pointy side up. We can get so many more of them because they're tiny, tiny bulbs. These will only be about 4 inches tall when they come up. So to finish off this last layer, we're going to add our giant snowdrops. I love snowdrops because they may pop up when you may still have a few inches of snow on the ground. So they are kind of such a fun surprise. So spread them out, again, making sure that the bulbs don't touch each other. And then once we get these last few in, we are going to finish it off by sprinkling over your last layer of soil. So that will be our last layer of our lasagna. Thank you so much for joining us for our fall lasagna bulb planting video. I really hope you have a great fall. I hope we get through this winter, and then when spring comes around, you have this beautiful flower garden to look forward to. Thanks again, be well.